Okay, today we're going to take a look at the Shock versus the Fusion for the finals of the Countdown Cup. If you have not watched the series, I'm obviously going to spoil it. So now's your chance. Leave if you want to watch it without spoilers. Okay. For those of you who are still around, this was the Temple of Anubis defense in particular. Was absolutely spectacular. So we're going to take a dive in to see some of the details of how the Shock full held the Fusion during fights that one fight in particular that they absolutely should have lost. And I'm going to highlight specifically how strong the San Francisco core is. And that's the supports and the tank line. Both of them make huge plays to save this map and make their attack an easy offense. While we say that, let's go ahead and get into the gameplay. We can go 20 seconds ahead here. So while this all develops, what we're looking at here is two mirror comps. They're both running dive, Sombra Genji, Winston, Zarya, Brig Ana. And what this comp wants to do is it wants to split the Zarya and supports into like a defensive trio. And then your Winston, Genji, Sombra are an offensive trio. And they work together to get picks. So you're going to see Sato, Ivy, Hisu versus Choi, Violet, Twilight, and vice versa, right? And now let's pause here. So what do we got? The main. Oh, let's go back just a touch so we don't have that buzzing in the background. Beautiful. So the main goal of dive is going to be, it's all about denying position and taking space. So a lot of people think about dive as like, we get high mobility stuff, right? Tanks and DPS, and we just jump on them. That's not dive. Like the dive happens after the staging phase. So right now, the staging phase is when you're taking multiple duels around the map and you're just trying to take spaces. So here's one space, the first space that you can kind of contest right when you come in the doors. What the Shock do is they hold on to this space as long as possible. If you wind that back a bit, let's wind this back to when they're first coming in. A little bit further back. Great. So see, and even just a little touch back. So the Fusion come in and they're pressuring this side. They don't actually want to come through this room. They just want to get, where did my marker go? There we go. Great. They just want to deny this space from the Shock. So they're pressuring this side and this mega, not to actually take this space, but to just pressure to shuttle the Shock back here, right? Look how long Smurf is going to sit here. He's going to stay here until it's absolutely no longer possible to stay here. So his team is going to get hit by a nade, which is going to put immense pressure for him to come back and defend them. But to the team's credit, they back up to right around here and to stairs where they're out of LOS. So they can survive a little bit longer, and then he soaks pressure, And then at the very last moment, he gets out. We'll just watch that real quick. There we go. Okay. My models are all messed up. There we go. Sorry, I'm playing around with my pen here. Watch that one more time. So he's here, he's here, he's here. He's half health, he's still here, and then he finally leaves. And he's 100 health when he lands, right? So he's holding on to that position for dear life. Great. That's part one. They're eventually going to push him out, inevitably. And then they're going to push for this high ground, they being Philly Fusion. They're going to push for this high ground. And what they're doing is they're trying to push the shock back to kind of where they're going right now, which is like this area here. They want to push them back into the staircase. And if Fusion get control of this, and this, and this, it's an easy, and then they obviously have control of this high ground, right? Then the dive just happens. Like, you don't have to use all your cooldowns to get in on top of them. Then you just drop in, and then you have the option to drop back up, and your supports just stay up here, and they can see the whole point. Whereas like Twilight and Violet have to play like back here, or like low ground. Is it here or is it here? I think it's both, with a little hallway between. They have to play low ground there, right? And then they can just get squeezed in by like a Winston bubble goes here, and then their healing's just cut off. Bad. So as the defending team, you do not want to be squeezed back here. You want to hold on to these positions, right? In dive versus dive. So what the shock do is they fight this position. They take, so they let Philly Fusion have this high ground. And now see how they're going to play the stairs here? See, as soon as the dive comes in, Violet and Twilight are going to run to this low ground where they can stay safe and shoot point. And then that allows Choi to hold on to this high ground. Now, so here's where things are starting to get dicey. Ivy dies. There's really not much to see there. We can watch it from Anna's perspective. He goes in, takes the duel with Rascal, thinks he's going to win it, and then Smurf +1s it, which should be fine, but he doesn't make it to Anna's line of sight fast enough.
You're going to be okay.
Right, so he's just like,
You're powered up. I need healing.
we'll watch it from Ivy's perspective. So, see Smurf is here. I think he saw that Rascal was low, or Striker was low actually, and he goes into +1 it, ends up dueling Rascal instead, and then Smurf +1s it, and he just he gets the pack, but he still dies, right? He does get the pack, yeah. I think he gets the pack. Actually, does Rascal steal the pack? He does get it, but he's got his deflect up, he gets the pack and then goes this way, whereas if he went this way for a second, he gets shot by alarm and maybe he's okay. Anyway, little details there. So you're the Fusion, you're down 1 in this fight. Alarm, Nanos, Sato, I believe.
You're powered up. Get in there.
And so here's play number one from the supports. So Alarm nanos Sato, and Twilight nanos the suboptimal Brig. And it's literally just to take, like, this is such a just kind of like throwaway nano. It's literally just to match the nano that's putting pressure on them. So Brig just gets in this doorway. Winston can't get past. We're going to watch this in slow motion while I talk. Brig gets the nano. They're nano for nano, so it's not like a loss. And Twilight's just going to sit back, and Winston can't get to him. Sato can't get to him.
Aren't you ready to take some punishment?
And now he's got to run because he's got Choi again. Choi's going to be playing this position the whole match. He's going to hold on to this high ground, and nobody can have it because this high ground allows him to shell here, allows him to shell like this part, not this part, but this part, and then specifically peel for his supports who are playing in here. So, Rascal kind of derps there. Sorry, Rascal. Nothing against him, but he kind of derped because he had the blade, and that makes this winnable for Fusion. Right? He just kind of runs up here. He's alone. And then he gets hacked. Yeah, he wasn't, I guess he had dash, and he was wanting to dash. So, good hack by Hisu. Good hack by Hisu. Great. So now, things are looking quite bad for the Shock, because we've lost Smurf and we've lost Rascal. How did Smurf die again? Remind me. This is while Sato is nanoed. Right, Smurf is half, and he's going to leap top. Choi Hyobin chooses to bubble, I think he bubbles Brig instead of Smurf, and Smurf dies. Let's see here. Yeah. So watch Smurf's HP and watch for Choi's bubble. He already put it on Brig. And then there goes Smurf. Smurf's gonna die without that bubble. Okay, so even fight. Even fight with Ivy on his way back in. Then Rascal's gonna die. Right. So notice Ivy is trying to get back in this fight, and he's just trying to take this high ground from Choi. He's trying to push Choi off that high ground. He gets hacked just as he's dashing to the Mega, and now with that hack, he's actually out of this fight for the duration of the hack. Now we're gonna stop right here because this is a lost fight for Shock. It is, let's see here, my screen's moving all over the place. So, I'm actually going to move just like this so I can have this up. Okay. So this is a lost fight for the Shock. They've got a 4v what's about to be a 6, right? 4v6. Smurf is about to make it a 5v6, but they should lose this, the Shock, because their supports are about to get grabbed, and then Hisu is going to EMP. So EMP grab, this should be over. And then any cleanup that needs to happen, they've got a blade. And they've got the rally to endure. So this fight should be over for the Fusion's victory. However, what we're going to see is Shock win it off of the back of this position here that Choi has held on to the entire game. This position for the supports, which is very safe for them as long as they're getting peel by Choi Hyobin. This preemptive rally. So this rally is so bold. First off, he's only rallying, Violet is only rallying Violet and Twilight, which is oftentimes feels like a waste of the rally. But he's rallying early because he sees Fury is about to grab them. So if we look at Fury's perspective, oops, let me clear this out here. So if we look at Fury's perspective, he's literally just walking up into them. And he might as well have a sign on his face, I'm about to grab you. Everyone in the server knows that the supports are about to get grabbed. So Violet sees that, feels the dive, and rallies. First grab by Fury is perfect. What we see though is Violet knocks the Winston off, so Winston's not dropping damage in here. And then Choi, where's my Choi? There you go. Choi counter grabs. And what he's going for here, he doesn't 100% get it, but what he's going for here is he wants to stick this grab right here so that the supports are out of LOS. He wants to pin Fury to the wall so that the supports can survive. So they've got rally going. Anna's just pocket healing the Brig, who's holding this doorway so no one can come in. She's booped Sato off, so now it's just solo Fury damaging this. However, they should still lose this, the Shock that is, because you just throw a nade in here, and they're purple, and Fury just does damage, right? And then you've got the blade and the EMP to follow up. EMP clears out any bubbles, any barriers. You should be fine, right? It takes Choi Hyobin to half. You should be good, right? So pins him here, and look at what Smurf is doing. Smurf hasn't revealed himself yet. He's sitting right here, and he catches the nade. He catches the bio nade. He literally has been waiting to come into this fight. He could have gotten into the fight a couple seconds earlier, but he's waiting there. Right? So, okay, he used his leave to get to this area. He knows where the Ana is. He could leap now. He could leap now. He could leap now. And he leaps right when he hears the grab. And he catches. That is that is crazy. That's insane. Let's look at Alarm's POV. Alarm is like, oh yeah, there's the grab. And he comes out of nowhere. He doesn't even see. He doesn't even see, like, Smurf jump. Smurf's like, I got you. Right? That's amazing. That is Overwatch League tank play. Incredible. Note how the bubble pops right away, like instantly, because the EMP comes in, but he uses it at the precise moment that Ana throws the nade. That is Giga Brain. Absolute insanity. So that nade comes in, it blocks all the Ana heals, it purples the enemy team, and then you're also going to get double healing on your Winston and your Sombra, wherever Sombra is, and your Sombra. Unfortunately, Fury is purpled, so it's too late for him. But look at this grab now. I think I've got a... Here we go. There we go. Look at this grab now. So this grab, the only person really putting damage into this grab is Fury. Sato's just getting there towards the second half of the grab, and he's just starting to tickle like Choi Hyobin. I don't even know if he's hitting Twilight, and he's hitting Violet. But like again, Rally went off before the EMP, before the grab, because they knew this was happening. Hisu's shooting into it, sure, but Choi Hyobin is here, and he threw his bubble up. So he has used, this is Fury. So he's used both his bubbles. They're on almost maximum cooldown. He's at 100 charge, and he's at full health plus some rally armor, because he bubbled the EMP. Actually, let's roll back. So let's slow this down here. Like, everyone is doing their job perfectly on the shock. So let's look at Choi Hyobin doing his job. He's going to pin Fury to the wall, and anyone else who wants to come in and walk up these stairs and do damage to his supports. Then he knows the EMP is coming, so as soon as he hears the voice line, maybe it's on reaction, maybe it's just as he's getting close to the grab, it's hard to say, but he's going to pop his personal bubble and just get in the way, right? And he's also just at high charge, so he's going to be dishing out tons of damage. So let's watch this from Choi's perspective. It's personal. He blocks the EMP, and now he's just shredding. And then here comes the blade. Amazing. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that Fusion uses Grav, Dragon Blade, EMP with backup for Rally, and like they were gonna have all 6 ults in this fight. If they didn't get absolutely rocked, they were gonna have all 6 fights here. No way that Shock should win this in a 4v6. But Smurf gets there, he times his re-entry to make it a 5v6, and not only does he make it a 5v6, but he essentially makes it a 5v5 by taking Alarm's value out of the fight. Then you've got Choi Hyobin, who nails the counter grab and makes it really difficult for anyone on the Fusion to come up. There we go. Gross. Can we get someone on the point? Thank you. So Choi Hyobin does his job of pinning his grab here so that it's impossible for anyone from the fusion to get up these steps and kill his Ana. His Brig is fine. He puts the bubble on Brig. Brig is getting pocketed, whatever. He walks into the grab and he's just soaking up damage. He's just doing so much tanking on this Zarya. And also, he's denying, from the beginning, he was denying, whoopsies, this spot, right? This angle of attack was completely denied. And so the Genji is just like, he's just way out of the fight and he can't immediately Dragon Blade into it. And then you've got Violet and Twilight, who are playing, first off, just a great position here. It looks like, I actually didn't notice that they had Striker set up to support them. But I think he gets caught by the EMP, which is why his EMP doesn't go off. I think he intended to use it, but he gets caught by the EMP from Hisu. But Twilight and Violet, first off, any supports, this is such a powerful position to be able to back into this room. If your opponents have taken this high ground, this low ground becomes a powerful position as long as you have your tanks helping you out. Most supports are going to back to this area, right? You've got the mini here, which is nice, and then you can back up these stairs and break LOS, or you can play back in this area, right? And then you can back up to whatever your reinforcing team. They play this area here so that even when they go down players, as long as Choi is alive, it's this defensive trio that just holds this area and just keeps on making impact and denying space and denying safety on the point. So really amazing stuff from the Shock. I can't, every time I see that that leap from Smurf, it just blows my mind that he nailed that. And then does he get alarm here too? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then they go on to, so now it's just like, right, Fusion's ult economy is ruined. Rascal wasn't even in that fight, so he still got his blade. Striker got EMP'd, so he's still got EMP, and then Twilight's almost back up to another nano here. So, absolutely ridiculous stuff. Anyone else who's playing that core, that tank and support core, take notes here. This is how you peel for your friendly support, or if you're a tank, for your supports. And it's how you deny space and deny value from the enemy team. So that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching.